I want us to go over the assignment for today. And again, Dr. Miranda, in case the recorder did not start on a timely fashion, um, we're going to take a few moments to go over the time value of money discussion assignment for this week, as well as it contains a few little tidbits concerning the discipline or the concept of the time value of money. Um, I want us to go into the instructions for this week's discussion. And the prompt for the discussion is as follows. Read the Harvard case study, Time Value of Money, the buy versus rent decision, and calculate the best route for the graduate's housing situation. Developing your understanding of the time value of money, which is TVM, concepts and calculations. Describe your assumptions, methodology, and results in your discussion narrative, and attach a simple spreadsheet supporting your analysis. And again, those specific modules or sections of your post is going to have to be present. Okay, the assumptions, the methodology you used, and your results. Those are going to be very important in this discussion. Now, what I'm going to do is what I usually do for all of my courses. I want not for you to spend too much time and the entanglement of trying to figure out what all of the variables of the case study is. Sometimes I've seen students get themselves worked out into a frenzy simply by becoming entangled in all of the variables. The results are not encouraging. So what I've done as a practice is I will give you a spreadsheet which contains all of the variables. It's going to be attached along with this video. So please, after the review of this video, I want you to go ahead and download the spreadsheet, and you can use that spreadsheet for your analysis. Okay, this way it'll save you a lot of time. But I also want you to look at the case study, because if you don't look at the case study, you are going to miss the most important factors of this case study. It's a really great case study that goes beyond just our course study, okay? Because it really, really drills deep down into what is the time value of money. Mainly, what is the money that you have now worth in, let's say, 5 years, 10 years, 2 decades. There are wonderful calculations that we can use that can actually project how much $100 will be worth today. So I strongly urge you to go to the resources that SNHU has provided there on Module 4. There is a list of many videos that you can watch. These are good videos. They're not long. However, they have some really amazing figures and calculations that will help you in this. Additionally, the time value of money analysis that you're going to do for this assignment, it's going to be a building block for your milestone projects. So you're going to use the TMV, the TVM, in all of your projects. Okay, so it's important that you understand this concept, you get it under your belt, okay, because it's going to be very important, particularly when it comes to your milestone assignments. Namely, should you even venture to expand internationally? At this point, we're going to say yes, but you're going to have to defend your decision to open up your company internationally by using the time value of money analysis. That's going to be just one variable that you're going to use among many. So I really urge you to really get into this concept of what is the time value of money discussion. Okay, the resources are there for you. This discussion is a good starter. The case study is there available, but also strongly urge you to look at those videos because they're going to help you, okay, really understand this concept. Also, this week's course readings are going to be very pivotal for your understanding of the concept of time value of money. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do a deep dive into the course material, which is the case study, and we're going to really dissect on what is required in this discussion so you can get a better understanding. Also, some of you are having issues. You have expressed your issues that you're having in acquiring your content from Harvard. If that is the case, I need you to please contact SNHU Tech Support, and they will help you with that and keep me updated. However, I'm going to actually read the case study to help you get a better handle on what is required, and also help you to get a better understanding of the time value of money. Okay, so we're drilling now to the case study, and follow me, please. In May 2013, Rebecca Young completed her MBA and moved to Toronto for a new job in investment banking. Notice that this is actually another, in Canada, it's another country. So the real estate market and the conditions are not exactly the same as the markets and the conditions has in the United States. Okay, so there's a different venue, and you need to take that into consideration, because in your milestone assignments and your final project, you're going to be dealing with a brand new country as far as the expansion to this international market is concerned. So you're going to be dealing with different variables, and you have to account for those in order to be successful in your venture. There, she rented a spacious 2-bedroom condominium for 3,000 Canadian dollars a month, which included parking, but not utilities or cable television. Oh, so sad. In July 2014, the virtually identical unit next door became available for sale with an asking price of 620,000 Canadian dollars. And Young believed she could purchase it for 600,000. Ooh, she could save $20,000 just right there. She realized she was facing the classic buy versus rent decision. It was time for her to apply some of the analytical tools she had acquired in business school, including time value of money concepts, to her personal life. So here is something very interesting. This is where your academic studies intersect with your career and private life, because Rebecca has a decision to make. Should I buy or should I rent? And some of you, including myself, have been in that situation. Should I rent? Should I buy? Which one's cheaper? Okay. Now, one of the things that you will have available going forward, if you don't already have, is the concept of the time value of money discussion. Also included in the spreadsheet are the formulas, okay, which is going to help you determine which direction you're going to take. But also, think about this. You will have a readily available tool that you can apply in other disciplines as well. Additionally, in your own personal life, when you're ready to buy real estate or other commodities with perhaps some leasing options. Okay, so this can be useful in your business. This can be useful in your personal life. While Young really liked the condominium unit she was renting, as well as the condominium building itself, she felt that it would be inadequate for her long-term needs. Has she planned to move to a house or even to a larger penthouse condominium within 5 to 10 years? Even sooner if her job continued to work out well. So she has some questions here. Long-term. Do I really want this? Is this a smart move? Okay. First of all, remember, she's new at the job, new at the location. Okay, so she'd be buying this soon. But the underlying question is this a good, viable choice for her when it comes to the value of her money? Is this a good investment? Okay, or is it too soon? Now, you're going to decide that based, of course, on the variables of the study. Now, let's continue. Okay, Financial details. If Young purchased the new condominium, she would pay monthly condo fees of $1,055 per month, plus property taxes of $300 per month on the unit. Unlike when renting, she would also be responsible for repairs and general maintenance, which she estimated would average $600 per year. It's a little bit more expensive than that, right? But hey, it's a case study. Okay? It tries to approximate real life, but that's 600. If she decided to purchase the new unit, Young intended to provide a cash down payment of 20% of the purchase price. There was also a local deed transfer tax of approximately 1.5% of the purchase price, and a provincial deed transfer tax of 1.5%, both due on the purchase date. The government always wants to get their take, guys. There's no escaping death and taxes, right? Add another one, bureaucracy. But we go back to the case. For simplicity, Young planned to initially ignore any other tax considerations throughout her analysis. Other closing fees were estimated to be around $2,000. In order to finance the remaining 80% of the purchase price, Young contacted several lenders and found that she will be able to obtain a mortgage at a 4% quoted annual rate that would be locked in for a 10-year term, and that she would amortize the mortgage over 25 years with monthly payments. The money that Young was planning to use for her down payment and closing costs was presently invested and was earning the same effective monthly rate of return as she would be paying on her mortgage. Young assumed that if she were to sell the condominium, say, in the next 2 to 10 years, she would pay 5% of the selling price to realtor fees plus $2,000 in other closing fees. Now, let's look at the scenario analysis because there are several scenarios that you're going to have to go through. In order to complete a financial analysis of the buy versus rent decision, Young realized that her first task would be to determine the required monthly mortgage payments. Next, she wanted to determine the opportunity cost on a monthly basis of using the lump sum required funds for the condominium purchase rather than leaving these funds invested in earning the effective monthly rate, assumed to be equivalent to the mortgage rate. She would then be able to determine additional monthly payments required to buy the condominium compared to renting, including the opportunity cost. Now, here comes the big one. Okay? And again, the underlying question of this case study in our discussion this week is the money that she puts down now. Okay, I believe it was 20%. Is it a good deal 10 years from now? Will that money be worth more if she invested that money elsewhere? Or will she receive a good return 10 years from now on that money that she put down? Is this a good deal considering the time value of money? Will that 20% be worth more if she invested elsewhere? Right? Or will it be worth more if she puts it into this real estate situation? That is the crux of our discussion. How much is your money worth 10 years down the road, 20 years down the road? Okay? Or is it wiser to spend that money elsewhere? To invest that money elsewhere. Let's continue. These are some final considerations. Young realized she had a tough decision ahead of her, but she was well trained to make these types of decisions. She also recognized that her decision would not be based on quantitative factors alone. It would need to be based on any qualitative considerations as well. She knew she needed to act soon because condominiums were selling fairly quickly, and she would need to arrange financing and contact a lawyer to assist in any paperwork if she decided to buy. Okay? Now note that in Canada, quoted mortgage rates are based on semi-annual compounding compared with personal loans and most U.S. mortgages based on monthly compounding. Now, the case study, again, contains these variables that you're going to be looking at. Okay. Additionally, I'm going to post that spreadsheet that contains the information and very logical, contains the variables for you to look at. And so what I want you to do is to respond to the prompt of the discussion. However, you need to provide your analysis. You need to plug in different numbers. Play with the interest rate. Perhaps she can get a better loan elsewhere, perhaps at a 3%. See what a 2%, if possible, rate will do to this particular analysis. But at the very heart of this, remember, at the very heart of this is the time value of money. Should she go ahead and spend this money now? Okay, and hopefully it would be a very good investment for her on this real estate deal, or is this money that she's going to put down be worth a whole lot more in 10 years if she spent it elsewhere, or even if she decided to put it in a bank, earning very worthless interest rates, returns, I may tell you, then something happening, perhaps she could lose her job. That's a qualitative variable. She could lose her job. She could, her salary could be reduced, and she would basically be in a position where she is not able to make the mortgage payments, and it goes into foreclosure, and she loses that investment. Remember, it's not little money that we're talking about. Okay, so again, to reiterate the fact, the time value of money discussion is a very important one. It's going to undergird, it's going to highlight, it's going to be the foundation of the upcoming milestone and final project. Okay, so again, I encourage you to look at the resources that's been provided for you by SNHU, and please take a look at those videos, take a look at the textbook. Okay, and if for some reason it's not enough, you have some questions, please reach out to me. But also, I have learned something is to be very proactive in terms of learning. Usually, when I can't get something either through the videos or I can't get something through the professors, I can't get, make the information make sense, through the material, what I often do is I go to Google, I go to Google Scholar, I hit the libraries, and I really do my due diligence to try to understand this concept. Okay, but it is a very simple concept to understand. Even the calculations are very, very basic. We're talking about high school math level of calculations. Additionally, with the spreadsheets that we have today, the Excel program, these calculations are done almost immediately. All you have to do is plug in the extraneous variables. Okay. Again, it's been a pleasure to spend these few moments with you. Okay, and should you have any questions, please be sure to contact me. Now, let's go ahead and have a terrific discussion this week. Take care.